Good afternoon, class. My name is Professor John M. York, not to be confused with John L. York, who teaches, the entrepreneurship specialty area. I am going to be your instructor, and it's my honor to be your instructor for marketing management for GSB 524. A little bit about myself. I think I bring an interesting mix. The one key take-home that you will get from that'll apply to this class is I have academic background both in a clinical discipline, which is pharmacy, but also in business at Kelley School of Business, also through Berkeley, and working for several major pharmaceutical biotech companies, and also running my own agency for 17 years. Just to let you know from a practitioner standpoint, one, I was a product manager as well as I worked in sales for Amgen. Two, I was global medical marketing director at Allergan. So products like Epogen and Neupogen at Amgen and Allergan, Botox, those are products that I'm very familiar with and helped with shaping their direction, their success. Three is I worked as a VP for an agency prior to starting my own agency in 2002 called Akita Biomedical, where we specialize on editorial, we specialize in meetings, education, strategy, and special projects. About me, there's my contact information. Email is preferred. Okay, office hours after class, please RSVP. I put in the syllabus Monday, but I'm pretty flexible with your schedules. You just need to give me a heads up. And if I am on campus, it's easy. If I'm off campus because I have agency day and I'm up in Paso or traveling a client, we will try to work out something vis-a-vis Zoom. Okay? I'm out in the trailers, but realistically, if you want to get with me, make sure we communicate beforehand. And I'd much rather get a conference room which has a whiteboard, or we need to present something that we have a place that we could use a projector or a TV. I like to use class announcements to get information out to the class, and I share my feedback to you and your teams using Dropbox. But why are we doing this class? Okay? And this is very critical because great businesses, great brands, great leaders start with why. And it's about strategy. Strategy starts with why are we doing what we're doing. Most people think of marketing from the what, which is the tactic. But the why is what defines successful companies and successful brands versus those that are not. It's motivation. So if we break down this class, the three things you're going to be able to take away. Knowledge, which is going to involve marketing concepts and relevant tools, parts of the marketing plan, marketing strategy versus tactics and how they apply, and then skills, foundational market research, strong client engagement skills, because we will have a client engagement part of this class, which is very unique for an MBA class, and enhanced communication, presentation skill, and team skills, which are just so critical if you are going to be a success in the marketing space. And then last but not least is application through not just case studies, but through a client engagement. So the course breaks up really into two sections. And you have your foundational piece, which we will, in the first 6 weeks, although a lot of content's going to go throughout the class, there'll be lectures, and there's going to be readings. And I do have a Harvard Business Review case pack. And plus I have other readings that are there that are in a folder that is marked reading material on PolyLearn. But we have application, and early on in the class over the first 4 weeks or 5 weeks, we have 2 case studies, which each team will break down the problem and will present based on what the questions are there or the issue to address. One will deal with Oliver Winery, and the second is a classic, which is called Cleopatra. And then the final engagement, which is really the final 5 to 6 weeks, we're going to work with a client and test their issues. So here are some different case studies, but I focus in on, at the end of the day, we're going to do Cleopatra and we're going to do Oliver. Readings, early on, I would encourage, I've assigned the Art of Client Service. If you're going to be engaging with a client, this book by Robert Solomon, who is an exec in basically Madison Avenue, he's the real deal. He, in a very concise manner, can give you a lot of valuable tips to make for successful engagement with clients and managing those relationships successfully. I've used it in my Business 454 class. Students have told me, have the class coming forward, read it early. And then Harvard Business Review is really classic cornerstone business reading. And I maintain, that's one of 2 business subscriptions I maintain that I read every month. And when I was in business school, we had tons of Harvard Business Review articles. I think they're great. They have a number that are applicable, and so I've built a HBR reading pack for you. And from the readings, what we'll do is we'll take some time, journal club time, and I'll have some questions that we can discuss some elements, because they'll tie back to themes that will follow with the more formal lecture that we'll have. And then client projects. And we've got 42 in this class, I think 43. That's a lot. We have 6 to 7 teams. I'm trying to get 6 to 7 projects. The classic projects are going to be California Closets. We're looking at trying to define what should Cal Closets be doing relative to the millennial generation, addressing that audience. Palo Alto Networks, which is up in Santa Clara. We're looking at a project that will deal with really working with marketing channels. We have a company in the Bay Area in San Francisco called Council, which is in the diagnostic space. We're still working through the details around their project that they will do. Crown Point Medical, which is a startup investment firm and is nurturing new startups, wants to do due diligence in the space, in the eye care space around a disease called pterygium. And then Gerson Associates is a consulting firm, marketing consulting firm down in San Diego. Randy Gerson is the real deal. He is out of Xerox. His partner, Chris Dion, was a vice president over at Intuit. These guys run Marketing Mondays. They run a very successful marketing consulting firm. They have a project with basically a fitness company that is catering to older individuals that are having fitness as part of a doctor's prescription for enhanced health. Okay? And we've got some really great people to work with. And hopefully we can get some of these great executives in to be able to speak. Okay? I think it'll be really neat if we got Randy, who's on the left, or we got Brett Eldridge, that might be able to speak to you guys. So I'm trying to work that out as part of class so that it's just not our discussions or lectures, but that we get real practitioners and executives to share their perspective from the trenches. Then we got what do we have? Review the syllabus. So there's a syllabus that we put together. It's extensive. It's laid out, as you can see on the right-hand side, in terms of intro, objective, schedule. Schedule may change based on what the needs are. Okay, I do updates every other week. Okay, tied to that will be deliverables. I also added in your reading list. I do give criteria for papers that you have to write, because you have a paper that you will do on the Art of Client Service, as well as your reflection exercise at the end, grading criteria, peer evaluation, and tips for success. And this sort of gives you a sense of the grading, heavy emphasis on the team side, okay, and that means even with the peer assessment. So all your team activities, how you interact, that's almost 80% of your grade. And if you look on the team side, you're talking about case studies, and project presentations are 40%. Actually, they're 55%. Okay, so this is heavy on team and application orientation. You have a lot of information, but we're not going to give a midterm or a final exam, so you think, all right, I don't have to read those articles. But going through the articles, participating in the discussions, being engaged with lectures will give you background and knowledge and tools that will help you in your engagements and in your presentations. And that's what I'm going to be looking for, and I evaluate your presentations. Are you applying what we're teaching? Last, success tips. Okay, this is listed in the syllabus, but participate. Okay, that's very important in class and with your teams and with your clients. Make sure you complete the learning deliverables. Make sure they're done on time. Pay attention to format and timing issues. I'd love it if one person for each team will be the point person for submission to me. Work as a team, very, very critical, because you do have part of your evaluation is your team evaluation, okay, from your peers. Make your presentations your best, very, very, very critical for MBA school, but beyond MBA school. Because if you work in marketing, you need to be an outstanding presenter. Be ethical, very, very critical. We have standards for ethical behavior and in conduct. Missed classes, there's school policy around missed classes. I am accepting of it. The big point is communicate to me up front. Exceed expectations. If you exceed expectations, then they're bonus points. And then if you have to withdraw the class, which I do understand, again, communication is key. So with that said, I'm open to your questions. I look forward to seeing you on the 18th. We're going to have a fantastic quarter. And we're going to learn a lot about marketing, but we're also going to do a lot of marketing. As Cal Poly is all about, it's about learn by doing. So thanks a lot, and have a great day.